which is sort of a variation of front wrap cross carry in a way. We're going to demonstrate a pond finish, which is an easy, fancy finish for a beginning wrapper. And we're going to use this beautiful Peacock's Tail FunFair wrap to start. So pond finish, demonstrating Peacock's Tail FunFair right now. Okay. So for today's demonstration, we're going to use Lucy. Lucy is my 3 to 4 month size doll. Okay, so that's about the size she is. She's actually in clothes that are a little bit too big for her. So probably like newborn is like 0 to 3 months is probably the right sizing for her. I grabbed like a little bit larger than that. Okay, so you can see what that looks like. A pond finish like this is really nice for use with younger babies especially. So it ends up being a one shoulder carry with a really pretty twist on the opposite side. And when you pull around the fabric for the twist, you can actually use that to support your baby's neck. So for younger babies and for those who are newer to wrapping, it gives a little bit more forgiveness for that top rail, which many of us have a hard time getting tight enough. So tell me in the comments if this is a finish that you've tried or that you like. This is always a finish that I think is super, super beautiful when I see it. And so I'm always like, oh, I love that. It just makes every wrap look so much more beautiful. So right now I'm sort of looking at you and looking at this. So this is my middle marker. So I want it kind of on the middle of my chest. And I want to position it so that I can kind of picture where baby's head will be. So we want baby to be close enough to kiss. So I want baby's head to be high enough there. A larger child has a larger head, so you're probably going to set it up a little bit lower, but a smaller baby will be higher. We're going to set it up the same way that we set up front wrap cross carry. I'm going to find my top rail, and I'm going to bring it around the back, all the way over to that shoulder. I'm going to bunch it up on top of that shoulder. Okay, and I'm going to make sure, I'm going to tuck back, make sure it's not twisted, and it's not. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so I'm going to pull. I like to find sort of the top rail. Harder to do in a dress than it looks. Or maybe not, maybe it looks that way. So we bunch that up on the top of the shoulder on both sides, okay? So this is sort of the base setting, if you will, of the wrap. And so we want this seat, hi Jessie, we want this seat to be tight enough so that we don't have to do a lot of extra tightening once baby's in, but loose enough that we can sort of imagine our baby's legs going in, right? So this might be a little bit, might have tightened a little bit too much. All right. So now I've got this. Now, just like front wrap cross carry, if you wanted to sort of pre-tie this and sort of just give a little tie here, flip around, put a little tie on the back, and go about your day, that's great. So I'm using about a base wrap here. So you could do this carry probably in a base or a base +1 and be comfortable, okay? Just because of the twists involved. You need a little bit more fabric for all the twisting. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go get my baby. I'm preset. I've decided it's time to pick baby up. Just like with my real baby, right? I'm going to put baby up here, support baby's neck, reach from the bottom, grab those cute little baby toes, and wriggle baby in. And I do sort of like the technique of sort of sitting baby on it. If you find you have a hard time getting a seat, I especially like it in a ring sling to do that. But for this one, I'm finding that top rail. I'm going to tuck my baby's arms in because a baby this age and this size is almost assuredly going to be arms in. They need that extra support. Okay, and I'm going to check the seat. Okay, so my baby's legs are kind of tucked in. That's not what we want. We want baby to have a nice bend to their legs. And we want to reach in and make that seat. So I'm going to reach in and I'm actually going to bring that bottom rail up a bit, kind of like to the diaper line. I think is good, especially for a baby this size. So I'm going to kind of tug a little bit. Hi, Sharon. I'm going to tug a little bit, get my baby's little, so they're knee to knee. which is a little harder to see in a doll because this doll doesn't actually have like real knees like your baby, right? But a knee-to-knee support so the legs are down like that. Okay, so there we go. So baby is sort of in, but not super secure, right? So we got to make that tighter. So for the pond wrap finish, the top piece, okay? So the second pass that you made, this one that's on top, this is going to be the horizontal pass. So we're going to hang on to this one for a second, and we're going to start tightening with the first one. So the one that was underneath the other, okay? We tighten strand by strand. I find it helpful to sort of lift up. Strand by strand just means we kind of go, we imagine that we can see the strands of the fabric, and we tighten. A little shoulder wiggle is often helpful too, so lifting up and shoulder wiggles. There's lots and lots of wiggling involved with baby wearing. Okay, so when I feel like that's tight enough, I'm going to take it, and I like to sort of pin it just so that I know I've sort of kept some of that tension. And now I'm going to take this one. So remember, this was on top, right? This was on top of there. And I'm actually going to tighten this horizontally. So I might get a little tug there so I don't lose any sort of tension. And I'm actually going to flip it. So do you see what I did there? I had it up above my arm, and I just tucked it under my arm, okay? Because this is going to be going across my baby. Okay, so that outside pass is going across my baby. So now I'm sort of horizontally tightening. Again, strand by strand. We can wiggle. You want to get nice and tight. Okay, nice and tight. Now I'm going to bunch it up, and I'm going to go here. And what happens when we're learning to wrap a lot of the time is this top rail just ends up loose. I don't know why that is. It just seems to be easier to leave this loose in a lot of times. So if it is loose, you can actually sort of compensate for that a little bit by wrapping looseness around this band, which provides extra neck support, making it really nice for little babies. Okay, so now I've got these two tails here, right? So the one that I pulled across and the one that's down. They're meeting here, and now I'm just going to twist. All right? So not hard at all. Okay, so I'm just going to twist. Twist, twist, twist. And when I get to about to baby's legs, I'm looking at this in a weird way, so it's when I get to about baby's legs, I'm going to go around, I'm going to go over baby's legs, and I'm just going to tie. And so the way I did this, I ended up a little bit off center, so I'm not quite as much, so I'm a little bit on the tippy end here. So if you end up going off center, that's one thing, an easy way to fix is just have a longer wrap. But you double knot there. Okay. And I pulled that down. So here we have it. So we've got our beautiful twist. Okay. Oh my gosh, this carry is so pretty. Yes, it really is. And I feel like this pond finish is a nice way to be like, look, I know I'm so good at this. But that was easy, right? That didn't look hard. Did that look hard? You can tell me, but I am not a wrap queen. I will tell everybody that, right? I'm not a ring sling queen. I'm not a wrap queen. You're not going to see me do crazy things. That's just not this is not me, not at this point in my journey, but I'm excited to try this. Yes, I'm excited for you to try it too, Ra. I'm excited. Tell me if that's the wrong pronunciation. But yes, everybody should try this. Everybody should try this. I remember seeing this one, this finish, and being like, oh, that looks so hard, and I could never do anything that beautiful. But it's not that hard. You can do this. This is a really nice entry into fancy finishes and into learning how to do this, and this is very comfortable. Now, if you had a heavier child in here, it might be less comfortable over time, just because it's a one shoulder carry. So anytime we have a one shoulder carry, we're going to feel more weight on that shoulder over time. But this is not, like, I don't feel much weight at all with this baby. And, you know, especially with a really small baby, it's not going to feel like much at all, just like kind of with a ring sling. And you can always flip things, right? You can flip the direction of where the shoulder is going to go. Just sort of think about which was the first pass, because that first cross is going to be the top shoulder, right? And the second cross is going to be the one that goes across. So if you try this today, and I'm going to send you out there, try this today. Try this today. Post what you do on the groups or on the page. Let me see it. Tag me in it. I would love, love, love to see your beautiful pond finishes. I think you're going to love it. I think you're going to love this carrier, and I think it's going to give you a lot of confidence to sort of walk out in this, be like, oh yes, look, I'm a pro. I'm a pro. So, which you are, no matter if you know 1 carry or 100. So you are awesome. Okay, so that was really fun. We're going to be doing more little demos like this. So let me know what you would like to see, and I would love, love, love to show you. And we will chat soon. Thanks, everybody.